And now, our feature presentation.
All right, boys, so here we are, episode 75, as always, brought to you by 24th Street Pizza. It is time for the 5's of the week.
Yes.
Yep. And today we are doing things that we take for granted. So, Master B, great topic. I'm going to let you do the honors.
All right. Time. I put time. I think we all start. I looked this up, so don't think I'm this smart. How many seconds, but I'm already stupid. How many minutes are in a day? Does anybody know? Anybody a math whiz?
I don't want to do math right now.
Let's not do that.
Don't have
1,440. I'm sure a couple of these listeners know it by heart. 1,440 minutes in a day. It's up to us to choose how we spend our time and on what. And I think, well, hell, I know. I take that for granted. You know, I mean, there's times where I'll find myself on social media way too long. I'm like, I could have done something more productive. And so the time, and it could go into all different angles of your life. Mm-hmm. How much time am I spending with what's important, you know? So for me, time was like one of the first things that hit me.
Yeah. I mean, you got to, if you think too deep into it, it could throw you off guard. You know what I mean? Minutes, seconds, days. You got to go with the flow, whatever makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? You're at work for what, 8-9 hours? That's every day except for the weekend. Yeah. That's your second life. Then you come home for a little bit, you go to bed. So you're really not home that much.
No, you're at work when you're home.
Yes.
I spend more time with the employees I work with.
Exactly.
I do my wife and kids.
Exactly. That's reality. But we get through it as humans.
And you know what I mean? With time,
I don't know if we get through it. I'm not trying to. We compartmentalize it. I don't know if I said that word right. We just learn how to deal with it in our mind. We tell ourselves what we need to tell ourselves to get through it, even though it not be right. That's how we compartmentalize stuff.
No,
you look
true.
at time. I mean, there's so many times where you look and you're like, man, I'm wasting time. Like whether it be social media or you see people, you know, growing or when they pass, you know, and it's just like it hits you. You know what I mean? It kind of brings you back to reality. Like, man, maybe I am taking time for granted.
Yeah, and this time topic here could fall into a whole lot of more of what we're going to talk about. Maybe it's things we take for granted with family and et cetera. So that time kind of plugs into some of that. And I think the time part of it for me is not always what I can do to be productive, but where am I spending it with what counts the most. And yeah, you do got to have those screw off type moments where you just sit there and, you know, whatever, you're on your phone, you're social media in it, or you're playing a slot machine. I love my little slot machine game on my phone.
Decompressing.
I'm down to zero, by the way, right now. I need more money. I'll take donations.
You're at home, you're not doing nothing.
You're in the wrong center.
I mean, if I'm not watching Dancing with the Stars or something like that, you know, I'm going to be on the phone. Or The Bachelor. Right. Just kidding. For real.
No,
I'm not
no,
even into
not.
that. No, I'm telling you the truth.
Voice of Miami.
All right. Over to you, C-Reb.
The first thing time was one of mine, so you took mine, so I'm not going to repeat up on time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip. But number 4 was actually my wife. I can take my wife for granted sometimes because, I mean, knows me. I'm always got some crazy things going on, whether it's coming over here, hanging out with you guys, or I'm going out hunting or riding my four-wheeler, going up north, hunting. While I'm doing that, she's trying to save me deals so my kids can get clothes for school, and she's trying to make sure the house is all kept up. And I just come to the point where I know she's going to do that, so I take that for granted a lot. And sometimes I got to sit back and say, hey, you know, thank you very, very much for that. But there's a lot of times you can get lost in the whole shuffle because you got all your things you got going on in your lifetime. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, she'll take care of that. I'm not even worried about it. You know what I mean? Very and then when you sit back and look at if she wouldn't have done all that stuff, where would I be? So that was actually my number 4. I skipped number 5 because it was the same thing, was time.
That's fine. That's a great one.
Do you ever acknowledge her?
Very much so. Very much so.
Ever give her flowers and say, baby, this is just...
If I gave her flowers, she would have me arrested.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
First time C-Reb will damn you.
She's not really a flower person.
Okay.
Her whole thing is, give me money, let me go do what I want. And I'm like, here you go.
Okay.
Because if she's out doing something, I can go out and go ride my four-wheeler, or I can go out, you know. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of what I call shut-up purchases. Like she's
Tit for
driving.
tat.
she's driving a brand new 2022 truck, and that's a shut up purchase. All right, here's your new truck. That leaves me to go off and do the stuff I want to do. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Very good. No, I like it. Hollywood, over to you.
I like that one, Chaz.
Yeah, I think we all kind of, at the end of the day, will have, time. I'm going to say my parents. At times, I've taken for granted. You know what I mean? And thank God my parents are still here. They're older now. Just at times, when they were trying to tell you to do something for your own good and you thought you knew better. You know what I mean? And you just took it for granted, or their well-being for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to be there.
They're gonna be there for you, your ups and downs. Hopefully for most of the times. But yeah, I think my parents at times I had taken them for granted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's very good, and I'm right there with you. I had family, but I wanted to, in particular, talk about my mom, because my mom has been my rock my entire life, and she's always been there for me. And as goofy and as crazy as she may be, she is literally always there for me. No matter what I need, no matter what I'm going through, I could talk to her, whether we agree on this, that, yada yada. She's always been there. And like, there's even times where, when I say family, like I'm doing this podcast with my uncles and usually a guest. And at one time, my best friend, and it's like, man, so there's days I don't even want to do it. But like once I get here and I get into it and I'm having fun with you guys, like,
You get lost in it.
yeah, I get lost in it. It's therapy and I love it. And I'm gonna look back one day and be like, wow, I want more and more of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wish it could go forever.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to shout out my mom because she's been my everything.
And to his mom, nicest lady you'd ever want to meet in your entire life.
Yeah,
she's
she's a good
never
woman.
been nothing but absolutely over the top nice to me. I love your mom. I think she's great. She's cool as hell.
Thank you for that.
So yeah, I relate.
And she'll
that
tell you, well, Mike.
Well, anytime I've ever seen her, anytime I've ever seen her, at the time she's always over the top. Hey, Chuck, how are you? How's your life?
By
How's
far.
everything going? And she's so engaging of a person too. So yeah, I really like
easy
your
to
mom.
talk to.
You're very much so.
Yes.
And she would give her sweater off her back to anybody.
Not afraid to tell a great joke too. Make you laugh. She makes you laugh every time I talk to her.
I know it'll hit me sometimes. Like, man, life gets busy, and it's like, shit, I haven't talked to my mom in a couple of days. I felt bad, so I'll call her right away. Try to make up for that lost time.
Yeah.
So, that's number one for me.
That's
That's
my
good. That's a
sister.
good
So
one, too.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah.
proud of her. She's accomplished a lot in her life. Gone through a lot of down times too. But
yeah.
if
And look at
there's-
the way she came out of it.
It's just the way her personality is. Like, she's like the bright light, and she can have her days, but she's just brings something to the room. She's
But you
just
can never tell her she's going through anything like that because she's always just
yeah, she keeps a lot to
Right.
herself.
Yeah.
but
She's a throwback, man.
I love my
Right,
sister,
absolutely.
Amy.
By far.
All reliable.
All
Always.
reliable.
Yeah.
So
Didn't
back-
mean to boast on your mom, but she's a great lady.
She deserves it. Love her.
Right.
absolutely.
Yes.